Okay. Yeah. So on the west side of the Capitol is a reflecting pool,
Right?
and it's just to the west of that. That is, it doesn't look, it's not actually shaped technically like a square, but that is known as Union Square. So we'll have a little map of that up on our website soon, and we're sending that all
Got-
to all of the people who've RSVP'd, et cetera. We'll spread that out over social media. So that's exactly where it is.
Gotcha. I understand now. I thought it was Union Station. So I
Oh
just
no,
wanted to just double check on that. Yeah,
because
that's
there's
what I
other
thought.
Union Square is a kind of a common name, but yeah, I had never heard of it until we got this. Technically, I guess the Capitol Police refer to this as Area 15. So anyway, yeah, it's just west of the reflecting pool.
Gotcha. And just one other question. Who did you get permission from, if you had to, or permitting for the rally? Did you have to do that?
You better believe we had to.
Okay.
This is our
Who'd
third
you get
event
it
in
from?
DC, and we
That,
have
that I don't know either. Just a clarification. Who'd you have to get it from? Capitol
uh,
Police or?
we had to get it from Metropolitan Police. I think the first application went through them, as well as the Capitol Police and the Park Police. So all three of them we had on a conference call, I think, sometime last week to make sure that we've got all of our I's dotted and T's crossed.
And they had to sign off on it, or you just had like a conference call saying you're coming?
Oh no. They have we've been working with them for over a month, well over a month on this. They do have to approve it, and every step of the way they ask questions and we have to sign off on it, or they have to
That's
sign
what
off on it and
you
that
get
kind
an
of thing.
actual permit from one of those agencies. Like, do you have a permit from Capitol
I
Police
should just
for it?
post this once on Facebook or Twitter because I keep getting asked this question. The way
I'm
the Capitol,
sorry.
it's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
We do have all of the necessary approvals. The Capitol Police does not actually quote unquote approve your event until the morning of, when they make sure that they've measured your stage to be exactly the right height and size, and whatever else other inspections they need to do. So they do final approval day of.
Sorry to follow up one more time on that, but you say you got the approvals, but like who'd you get it from?
Capitol Police.
Capitol
I
Police.
mean,
Okay.
they're the ones who said, okay, this is the area you're going to have it at, and all the, there's other steps. It's before their planning board now, and I presume their planning board was part of what led to the decision to put the fences back up. Kind of a waste of time, in my opinion, but I understand the narrative that there's maybe a political decision in there. But yeah, so, and it's like I said, the morning of, they inspect everything, and that's kind of when you get the final approval. That's just how it works.
I see. Great. So let's just start off with the purpose of the event, Justice for J6 rally. So why are you holding it?
Great question. There have been hundreds of Americans who've been targeted by the FBI and the Department of Justice for doing what would ordinarily merit no more than a slight slap on the wrist, as has historically been the case during the Trump administration, during the Kavanaugh hearings when protesters shut down the Senate, or when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had a sit-in of Speaker Pelosi's office, interfering with business, being in part of a public building you're not supposed to be, in an aggressive exercise of your First Amendment rights. We have maintained and built a database of, I think, 500 to 600, all the people have been arrested, and very few of them have been accused of violence. Despite that, many of those who have been targeted by the FBI had agents show up at their home with guns drawn and pointed at their children, had their lives turned upside down, lost their jobs, gone bankrupt, trying to pay for attorneys. Beyond that, there have been several hundred Americans, at least 100 now we believe currently, that have been held in prison without bail, without access to medical care, without full access to their attorneys or their families, for their political beliefs. They're not accused of violence. They're not charged with violence. They're charged with things like trespassing and interfering with government. We believe that's wrong. And we're also there to protest on behalf of Ashley Babbitt, whose death and killing we believe deserves a public investigation. So our message is this. If you think it's wrong for somebody who's not been accused of violence or charged with violence to be held in solitary confinement for 9 months without the opportunity for bail, without access to medical care, without full access to their attorneys and access to their families, then you're on our side. If you think it's wrong that a police department can clear itself after an internal investigation in the shooting of an unarmed individual, then you're on our side.
On the other side, some would say that these are people who are accused of being part of an insurrection. So what do you say to those folks who turn around and say that to you, that they were accused of being part of an insurrection? That's why they're being held as they are.
Where are the charges? Insurrection is actually a crime. Sedition is a crime. None of them have been charged with that. None of them have been charged with conspiracy. Again, the protesting at the Capitol is kind of a time-honored tradition in this country. It's happened over and over again. And I would remind you that during President Trump's inauguration, over 200 Antifa members were arrested and charged with not trespassing, but actual violence, assaulting police officers, destroying police property, destroying private property. Over 200 of them had all charges dropped. It's clear that the only reason these people are being persecuted is because of their political beliefs, not because of what they've done, but because of what they think.
What kind of security do you plan to have at the rally, if at all, for those attending, for the crowd?
Keeping our attendees safe is our first priority. We've held 2 protests already in the District of Columbia, one at the Department of Justice and one at the prison where these political prisoners are being held. Both of these concluded with no incidents, no crimes, nobody getting injured or hurt. We've also held 10 rallies around the country on this issue, again, with no incident. What we're doing is we're cooperating with the Capitol Police and the Metropolitan Police every day, letting them know our plans, working with them hand in hand. We also have a diplomatic security team that will be supporting this, and they're looped in with the Capitol Police. We also have a large number of volunteers from our own organization and staff who are going to be monitoring the events of the day to make sure that everybody who comes is safe and everybody's able to leave safely. There are no incidents of violence or anything like that at all. And we have internal plans, and that if we identify anybody that we believe is going to potentially cause a problem because they're not obeying our rules, and our rules are that we ask that everybody leave home any of their material or flags or paraphernalia supporting any candidate, making accusations about the election, or of any other third-party groups. They leave all of that at home, and if anybody disobeys that very polite request from us, we are going to take video of them, take pictures of them, identify them, and make them famous, as well as bringing them to the attention of both the Capitol Police and our private security.
But are you concerned about all the talk that there could be potential for violence at the event, and the fact that holding this very event could attract that kind of behavior no matter what you say as far as wanting a peaceful demonstration? There's talk that the Proud Boys, Oath Keepers may show up. Your rally could attract those kind of far-right extremists. Do you want them there?
Our request is that patriotic Americans, regardless of their ideology, join us, and that they leave all of their paraphernalia for third-party groups, candidates, all of that at home, and they just join us, focused on getting justice for the January 6th political prisoners. Anybody that works in contravention of this, we will do everything we can to prevent it. I have no concerns about safety. There's not going to be any violence. I think that those that are pushing this line, both from the right and the left, are trying to sabotage this event. I think that the left wants the right, wants patriots like myself to believe that violence is their only option, to believe that elections are invalid, the First Amendment and public protest and community organizing does not work. That's why they're trying so hard to shut down this event. They're not really afraid of things like January 6th happening because, well, they'll just bring the FBI, they'll arrest a bunch of people, put them in prison forever. That's actually, I think, the outcome that they want. They want patriots to feel disconnected from the political system so that they turn to violence so they can then persecute them. Our solution is that, hey, we have a constitution, we have a First Amendment right, we have the right to vote. We need to exercise these and in favor of our political agenda, in favor of justice for these January 6th political prisoners. So us having a peaceful First Amendment exercise is terrifying to the left. That's the last thing they want us to do, and I believe that's why they're trying to scare people away from attending this at what is their building, their Capitol, exercising their First Amendment rights.
But would there be a point at which you would possibly call off the rally because the talk?
Under no circumstances does this train stop. This rally is happening if I have to stand out there myself.
So at no point you're going to
go ahead. At no point will I cancel this rally. This is happening even if I'm there by myself with a megaphone. I don't care if it's hailing, if there's a tornado and a hurricane. I will be there, and I encourage other patriotic Americans to join me. We will not be intimidated from expressing our First Amendment rights at the Capitol building that belongs to us, that was built by our forefathers. We will not be deterred.
Have you been in contact with President Trump at all?
I don't discuss the conversations we have with other outside groups until we're ready to disclose that. Or any politician.
Any thoughts about the event at all with you?
I'm not, we talk to all kinds of people about this event. I don't disclose private conversations we have.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says participants are coming back to praise the people who were out to kill on January 6th. What's your answer to that?
She is terrified that patriotic Americans are exercising their First Amendment rights. That's why she's putting the fence up. She knows that we're no threat. The Capitol Police know that we are no threat. This is a theater to deter people from attending.
And last question, law enforcement plans to be on high alert that weekend of your rally. The entire D.C. police will be fully activated. Have you thought about the danger that you may be putting the officers in just by holding the event?
We will not be deterred from exercising our First Amendment rights on behalf of the greatest civil rights battle of our day.
All right, Matt, thanks. Anything else you want to add?
If anybody is interested in attending the rally, we're presenting our guidance at lookaheadamerica.org/rally.
One other quick question. Any other confirmed speakers for the event? Anybody new you can tell us about that's going to be speaking there?
Well, I can share that my co-host for the event is Cara Castronova, who has started a group, Citizens Against Political Persecution. I think they're based in New York. We will announce our speakers probably on social media sometime next week when we have some confirmations. And I don't want to share our internal discussions, but we're very excited about the folks that are going to come and talk.
All right, great. I'm going to stop the roll. And Matt, thank you so much. Just wanted to ask several questions while I had you. And so there you go.
WTOP, that's local radio. That's important. That
is indeed.
There's nobody that is easier to attend this rally than the people that are in the area. So thank you.
All right. No, appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And hope to keep in touch too before and after the rally. So.
All right. Sounds good. Take it easy.
All right, Matt. Thank you. All right.